Welcome back to my channel or whatever. My name is Lynn. And yeah, there's some things I want to fucking talk about. Oh, I'm gonna really try not to curse all the time in every video. There's some things I want to talk about. That wasn't hard. So yeah, basically I just want to like have a conversation about mental health, but like being transparent and actually truthful, because I feel like a lot of times like I be tuning into discussions about mental health online, and I don't know if it's like levels to it, like to the amount of like impulsiveness, irrational, or the depths of the depression, or like the height of the mania. But like I never feel like my mental health experience is represented in the conversation. And so yeah, today's video is called My Mental Illness is Showing. And for context, like background to the video, I was diagnosed bipolar when I was 14. Actually, I was 13 when I was diagnosed bipolar because I was in 8th grade. And I had a sibling, my brother Brian, who is deceased now, but I talk about him often on this channel. I'll actually have a tribute video linked below because he's beautiful and I love basking in his soul and sharing him with other people. But at the end of the day, he was also bipolar, and I seen like his experience with bipolar. So when I was diagnosed with it, it wasn't like nothing that felt like I had the wind knocked out of me, or it wasn't like a stigma around it in the household that I lived in. And like he was going to therapy, he was medicated, and so that same kind of attention and practice was like given to me in my reality. And so I got medicated for bipolar. The first medicine I ever took was Seroquel. That used to tranquilize me like a horse. They had my brother on that, and so they decided that like, okay, well, since y'all related, we are gonna try to put you on this medicine, but it ended up not being compatible with me. I used to feel like I would literally nod off, like literally my head would be like swinging on a swivel, like. So I went through a lot of different phases where like I took my medicine, stopped taking my medicine, then we changed my medicine to something that actually worked for me. And what works for me ever since I was like 17 to recently is the combination of Lamotrigine and Klonopin. I'm not gonna get into specifics about like dosage and stuff. I just talk to your healthcare provider. But why this duo of medicines worked for me in particular is because it didn't make me drowsy. It didn't put me to sleep. It literally just stabilized my mood. And like I still would feel depressed. I still would feel manic, but my highs wasn't like the peak of all peaks, and my lows was not, you feel me, the depth of all valleys. And so it was just manageable. My mental illness became manageable, but I was still affected by it on a day-to-day basis, and I still am affected by it on a day-to-day basis. And that's why I'm in the scenery that I'm in now, because in this video we're gonna clean my depression room together. It's time to clean up in this motherfucker. Start cleaning up. I did want to talk about like factors that I feel like in my adult life have enhanced my bipolar, and that is literally the state of the world. For one, like I had to delete social media off my phone because of what's happening in Palestine. If y'all know, there's a Christian artist named D1 on Instagram. He's starting to like a campaign, a trend, just to like hold niggas accountable for what niggas is talking about when they have big ass followings, platforms, and their voices are being amplified. Like, what message are you amplifying? And like the response that he's getting from these niggas disgusted me. Like, it was disheartening. It's like they acting like they don't know why niggas is mad at them. They acting like they don't know why niggas is utterly disgusted with these niggas. They acting like they don't fucking know. Or if they do know, like what Joe Budden said, they acting like it's more of a problem for him speaking out about it than it is for these niggas speaking on it, period, to the degree of which they are. And the it in question is death. It's everywhere. It's on TV, it's in the music, it's on the fucking internet, it's up the street, it's in my hometown, it's in my family tree, nigga. It's, my plant just died the other day. My plant died, and that literally sent me over the edge. I'm like, no, not my nigga. Like, y'all don't understand. Like, I'm smiling, but this shit was really like gut wrenching. And so, like, and what's happening in Palestine is just sick. It's sick. It's a genocide happening in the city that I live in. Like, it just make me think about like how this country was even founded. Like that's gut wrenching. Like that hurts. This is. It's too much. Like, it's all too much. It's all too much. I feel like just feeling this way has literally amplified like the depth of the depression that I've been feeling. I'm just like, whoa, can I just breathe? You feel me? Does stillness exist? Is that an option? And I'm like, literally, I'm not even gonna get into like my hang-ups with like Western spirituality. Like, lately, like, because of all this being in my conscious mind, I have such a bone to pick with Western spirituality. Like, stop telling niggas to visualize shit. No, you need to get acclimated with your community and get organized. They'll help the vision. You can't visualize nothing by yourself. For real. Like, real nigga shit. Damn. I told myself I wasn't gonna take it there, but I can't not. So here's the thing. I cannot not. Period. Fucking check your mama. Anyway.
Okay, so what you just seen is a clip from 2023. I'll put the date somewhere on the screen though. Also, I'm getting over a cold right now, so I kind of sound like DMX. Right, rest in power. So, yeah, I just kind of wanted to respond to like older videos of myself. Basically, I don't know if I feel like my experience of with mental health is something that is represented enough. I know that it is something that I've noticed from the time of that video to today is something that is talked about more, specifically like dark-skinned femmes with autism. I feel like that representation is there more, or just not even necessarily representation, but that perspective is more present in the media, on social media now, especially on my algorithm, because like my algorithm's engineered to my interest. But when it comes to being bipolar, I think people who are actually bipolar, we aren't typically that vocal about it, because like the people who are visible and vocal about being bipolar just is like, okay. Like, okay, well, nobody wants to be feathers of that flock, you feel me? But yeah, basically, I am medicated. I have a psychiatrist and a therapist, and I'm still bipolar. Like the symptoms are still there. But more recently, I've been thinking about, and this is just a theory, not a threat. Like, if you've been on my channel long enough, then you know where I'm going with that. But more recently, I've been thinking about like, how does this manifest really in me? Like, what is mania and like depression to me? Like in the system. And so I know growing up I was always socialized, like when I was in institutions, with an abundance of whiteness, white perspective, and white power. And then at home and at church, it was like always black, like blackity black, like black Twitter mama, black. If you've been on my Instagram, you see my brother, black. So speaking of, yeah, his name is YB for Young Black, like, yeah. So saying that to say, I had to do a lot of code switching, and I was socialized in a way that my parents really couldn't help me navigate because they grew up raised around black people. And so even their existence in white institutions, they still had peers that looked like them. That was their, like, yeah, peer. And I didn't have that until I got to middle school. And so, yeah, basically I'm saying that to say, what I recognize in interactions with people is that when I'm charismatic, a lot of how I deliver messages on my channel, even when I'm charismatic and funny and I make sense, like a lot of sense, like, and really articulate, right? When I can convey a message and perform it at the same time, like people are willing to listen and engage constructively and with the humility of, oh, okay, I hear you and I appreciate this perspective. But when I'm just chilling or just low, like a depressive episode, and I'm articulate and I make a lot of sense, and I'm not performing, you feel me, for anyone's attention, or I'm not pandering for anyone's acceptance, I am received as a threat. And so, yes, I'm bipolar, and I recognize the science of having a chemical imbalance in my brain. That's why I'm medicated. That's why I have a psychiatrist, and that's why I have a therapist. However, I understand that the effects of the chemical imbalance in my brain is a direct result of white supremacy and the way that I've been socialized within white supremacy as a black femme, where I constantly have to code switch. And so everyone knows, like, the perspective of someone that's bipolar is your mood changes just like that. And it's like, yeah, growing up, I had to be able to process things, like with the duality of I'm black and dark skinned and femme in this space. And so I have to see, like, how am I able to move? What do I have to be able to endure in this space? And since being an adult, one thing I've realized is that it doesn't matter what space it is. Like, one thing about white institutions, they are very transparent, and you cannot kid yourself into thinking that it's equal in that motherfucker. And I respect that. I got a lot of respect for that, to be honest with you. But since being an adult, one thing I've noticed is that basically, especially when it comes to like politics, and it comes to what people think their personal beliefs are about liberation, they cannot handle someone dark skinned and femme not being inferior to them. Like, it just makes them short circuit. And so obviously they cannot want me to be liberated, but not even that, they will reinforce white supremacy with no direct benefit, just to ensure that I do not see myself as equal, or that I cannot have an experience that is equal. And so, yeah, I think about my labor being stolen in organizing spaces, and just being exploited, and being dark-skinned and femme, and having that owed to me, right? And having that be something that a motherfucker is comfortable with, and a motherfucker has the audacity to do. And I think about how when, like, the perception of my power being perceived, like, and received as a threat, Like, okay, well, if you have this, what does that mean that I have? And nothing, motherfucker, you ain't got shit. Like, and it's not because I have something, but you just don't have it. It's just not in you. You're not that type nigga. And so ultimately, when we talk about mental health and we don't talk about the societal conditions that we are socialized in, we doing ourselves a disservice. And I think then something that I could not articulate at the time is that's what I felt like was missing from the conversation is like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna have these mood swings. A nigga just going about their day on the gram and I see somebody look like me slaughtered, and the impact that has on like people just completely mask off, where it's just like, whoa, like this is a motherfucking sun downtown in this bitch. And a lot of people still operate like that, and it doesn't matter how they are oppressed within their lineage and on their land. They will assume the position and the mentality of an oppressor as long as it means your black ass is not equal to them, and it's like a default thing. I don't even know if it's conscious, but it's just a domino effect. And so, yeah, no, I can take accountability for being bipolar. You feel me? I'm not going to take accountability for the way I'm socialized in society. When it's all said and done, it's nothing left to do, I say, if you're not telling the truth. And one thing I want to start doing on my channel, just period, is platforming the truth of people and of this society. That's just a theory, not a threat. But also, like, having that transparency of how you know you around some real shit, and how you know when one of these things is not like the other, and how to honor that and move forward. And so I really want this channel to be a safe space for black femmes, especially those who are bipolar or autistic too. Because we don't ever have to shrink ourselves, and there's never going to be a time where people allow you to feel equal to them, because without their superiority complex, they don't have an identity, and that's on them. But when you need to unwind and you need to unplug, and you've already talked to your psychiatrist and you've already trauma dumped your therapist and came up with a plan to move forward that's rooted and structured in science, come to this channel to decompress. And so, yes, I do feel like because this channel exists, because channels like, I'll link some below, as a matter of fact. There's a mother wound channel that I really love that a black femme runs. I'll link some stuff below. I'll link some shit below. Like, you'll be fine. And so, yeah, basically that's all I had to add to that video. So my name is Lynn. Thank you for coming. Like this video, subscribe. You can share it if you feel like it. Follow me on Instagram at cheesy, because I be cheesing. And that's it. Oh, also, I was so young in that video. I was so young. Like, that was before I was a mom and everything. Like, girl, okay, you'll be fine. All right, bye.